Hey, what's going on, guys? Dan the Movie Man, back for the first time in like a year or something. I think it's been a while. Um, but I figured with everything going on in the world, it's time that maybe I come back to YouTube, and especially now that I have things that I want to talk about. And obviously, you've read the title. Today, we're talking about The Mandalorian season two. This is 10 things that I'm predicting will happen in this season. Now, there's no way all 10 of these are going to happen. I'm sure I'm correct about some things and incorrect about others. Obviously, I'm just some dude on the internet. I have no sources. I'm not in the know about anything. This is all just my thought process on it, and I in no way have inside information, because if I did, I would keep my mouth shut, because I don't want Lucasfilm to be mad at me. But with The Mandalorian Season 2 approaching very fast, it's coming out sometime in October. We're about to hit September, and obviously it's going to be just around the corner. We should be expecting a trailer soon, and when that comes out, I'll probably cover it. Um, but yeah, so I figured it would just be best, based off everything I've seen in season one and all the knowledge that we do know about season two, to come on here and kind of give you my thoughts and my predictions on what season two might entail. Now, I came up with 10 different predictions. Obviously, there's other stuff that I think will probably happen, but it's stuff that's you just kind of know, like, oh, the Mandalorian's gonna fight someone. Oh, Baby Yoda's going to use the Force. Of course, those things are going to happen, um, but it's not a big thing. So I made 10 predictions, big predictions, for the story of season 2. So my number one prediction is that Captain Rex will appear in season 2. Now, we know that Ahsoka is going to be in season 2. We know that Tamora Morrison is coming back to play Boba Fett. With that information, it just makes all the sense in the world to assume that Captain Rex is probably with Ahsoka, and Tamora Morrison is probably going to be playing Captain Rex in live action. Um, Obviously, there's not really, I don't know what story that has in store for us, but I think just based off the information we know, that's a pretty solid prediction. I would love to see where Captain Rex is after the end of the Galactic Civil War. Now that the New Republic has risen up, is he retired? Is he going along with Ahsoka just cause? What is going on with Rex? And obviously, I don't think he'll appear in more than one episode, because I don't think Ahsoka's going to be in more than one episode either. But it'll be interesting to see that dynamic if Rex is in the show, where he's at and at this point in the timeline. Because let's be honest, this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. He's old, he's aging rapidly, and he's probably not going to be around too much longer. So it'd be interesting to see where he's at in this point in the timeline. Prediction number 2 is that Bo-Katan will regain the dark saber. We know that Katie Sackhoff is coming back to play Bo-Katan in live action for the first time. Obviously, she at one point did hold the dark saber. Um, she was kind of a leader for the Mandalorian people, and I think it makes all the sense in the world if she's coming back. We know Moff Gideon has the dark saber. I think at some point something's going to happen, and she's going to reclaim the dark saber for the Mandalorian people. And who knows? Maybe she takes it to Mandalore. Maybe we actually get to see Mandalore in live action for the first time. That would be amazing. But I do think she will regain the dark saber. My third prediction is that Cara Dune will join the crew of the Razor Crest, that being obviously Baby Yoda and Mando. I just think everyone loved Cara Dune. Gina Carano did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see more of her. We know she's still a main cast member. I think it only makes sense that we see more of her this season, and the best way to do that would be have her join the crew. And I think the dynamic would just work a lot better. You need more people around Mando. It can't just be him and Baby Yoda all the time. Which, I mean, it can just be them for sometimes. That's absolutely fine. But you need more characters in there to play off of and feed off of. And so I definitely think that we're going to see more of Cara Dune, and it would only make sense that she's a part of the team now. Number 4 is that we're going to learn more about what has happened to the Mandalorians, because we know that there was some kind of purge at some point. They're kind of hiding from society. These Mandos, at least the clan we have seen so far, are much different from the Mandalorians we know in Clone Wars and even Rebels, where they're openly taking their helmets off and they're openly talking, about their identities and their past lives and everything. So it's going to be interesting to know what happened. What was that purge? What did Moff Gideon have to do with that purge? What did the Empire have to do with that purge? When did the purge happen? Did it happen to all Mandalorians? Was it just this specific clan? Was it just foundlings that it happened to? We don't know, and I definitely think we're going to learn some more of that this season. Whether that's through Mando himself, whether that's through Moff Gideon or someone else. I think you gotta, they hinted at it a lot in season 1, and you got to give us a payoff on that, and what exactly is going on. Plus, just for the timeline's sake, to know, Rebels and Mandalorian aren't too far apart in timeline. So in that period of time, how things change so drastically, there obviously is going to be a very good explanation, because Dave Filoni's not going to contradict himself. He's not gonna ruin Rebels with Mando and vice versa. So he's obviously got a plan that fits in the timeline and the storyline. So I think we're gonna find out more about that in season 2. Now, my 5th prediction, and I'm gonna say this is the biggest long shot on my list, but I have that Sabine and Ezra will appear. We know Ahsoka's appearing, but we also know that immediately after the Battle of Endor, she and Sabine leave to go find Ezra, who was lost a little bit before A New Hope. So it would serve to reason that if we're going to see Ahsoka, and she's already been on this journey to find Ezra, we're probably going to see Sabine. And if she was successful in finding Ezra, we'll probably see him too. I don't know exactly, how that'll fit in. I don't know, what storyline will be going on, and who knows, maybe even Thrawn will be there, because wherever Ezra is, Thrawn is too. But Dave Filoni, at some point, is going to give us a payoff to this cliffhanger on Rebels, and with Ahsoka appearing, it fits like a glove. Now, like I said, it's the biggest long shot, because you don't want to. They've already got so many characters appearing. They don't want to overpack this, because you still do want it to be about Mando and Baby Yoda and Cara Dune and the new characters, and all this new struggle. You don't want it to all just be, hey, look, this is a storyline from this show, and this is a thing from that show. You obviously want it to be able to be its own thing. So this is definitely the farthest prediction out there, but I think it's definitely a possibility. My 6th prediction is that Boba Fett is not going to be an enemy to the Mandalorian. Now, we know Boba Fett will be appearing some way, shape, or form. We're not exactly how, whether he will have his armor, whether he will not, we don't know what's happened to this guy since the Sarlacc. So, and if you go back to the old EU, and I know it really has no credence over canon because it's not canon anymore, but they have pulled things from the EU. And Boba Fett isn't just an evil dude. Boba Fett wasn't a part of the Empire. Boba Fett wasn't, necessarily a bad guy. He's a bounty hunter. He works for the people that pay him. Now, yes, he did work for the Empire. Yes, he did work for Jabba, but they were paying him. He's not doing it out of malice or hatred for these other people. It's a job. And they explored that a lot in the EU, where he even to a point trained Jaina Solo about how she could kill her brother, which sounds evil, but it's not. Boba Fett is a character I've always wanted to see portrayed like that in canon. He is a guy doing a job, and he's going to work for whoever pays him more. Maybe, now that he's back, he's working for the Bounty Hunters Guild. Maybe he's working with the New Republic. Maybe he's hired by someone else. The point being, I just don't want to see it like, oh, Boba Fett's the bad guy, because I think you can do so much more with that character than just be like, oh, he's the antagonist. That being said, if Boba Fett shows up and fights the Mandalorian, I'm not going to complain, but I would like to see him presented in a different way than we're used to seeing him presented. And that leads to my 7th prediction, which is Baby Yoda will speak. It just seems like a natural progression. This dude's 50 years old. He's got to talk at some point. Now, what he'll say exactly is up for debate. How it will fit in the story is up for debate. And even how he speaks is up for debate. Does all of Yoda's species talk backwards? Is it just Yoda? Is Yoda just weird? I mean, who knows? But we'll definitely, I think, hear him speak at some point. And who knows, maybe we actually start to see Baby Yoda grow a little bit more, because we don't know exactly how these aging processes work for Yoda's species. So who knows where that could lead. My number 8 prediction is that the Mandalorian will learn more about the Jedi, presumably from Ahsoka. Obviously, at the end of last season, he's on this quest to kind of find the Jedi. He doesn't really know about them. He thinks they're more of a race than a people, which is kind of interesting because he was a child in the Clone Wars, as we know from the flashback. So that makes me think he was probably living somewhere on the Outer Rim, and wasn't really privy to the Republic and the Separatists and everything going on. And so I think he'll learn about the Jedi Order from Ahsoka, and we'll get some history on that, and he'll kind of come to realize what it is that Baby Yoda is a part of, and why they want to use Baby Yoda, why he's so significant, because he is Force sensitive, just like the Jedi. And that actually leads into my next prediction. Prediction number 9 is that we'll find out why Moff Gideon wants the child. It's got to be more than he's just Force sensitive, because there's other Force sensitive beings in the galaxy. There's something specifically powerful about Baby Yoda. So why does Moff Gideon want him, and what is his plans for him? There was a great fan theory before The Rise of Skywalker came out that they were going to use Baby Yoda so powerful they were going to use him to resurrect Palpatine. Obviously, we know that's not the case anymore, because Palpatine is in fact a clone, and he transferred his essence and all that. So that's not why they need him. But maybe they need him for some other reason, to do something. I don't know exactly what. I'm sure it will be explained, though, and we'll figure out exactly why Baby Yoda is so significant, and why the Empire, or the Imperial remnants, need him so badly, and why Moff Gideon is on the hunt to get the child. And this will lead to my last prediction, and this one is kind of another long shot. This person's obviously not appearing because they're dead by now, but I think that Revan will be mentioned. Now, the reason I say that is because we're going to be learning a lot about the Mando's going to be learning about the Jedi. We're going to be delving into the Mandalorian and Jedi Wars. And obviously, in the old EU, Revan was a huge part of that. We know Revan is canon now, thanks to The Rise of Skywalker. We don't know exactly what Revan has done in canon, because that hasn't been explored. I think, if we're finding out what's happened with the Mandalorians, if Mando's learning about the Jedi, I think obviously they're going to talk about the Mandalorian and Jedi Wars, and they're going to bring up Revan, and I think they're going to talk about how Revan ended the Mandalorian Wars on Malachor. We even know about Malachor because of Rebels. We actually see Malachor, so it's only fitting. It would fit like a glove, and we know Filoni has wanted to use Revan in the past in Clone Wars, and I definitely think he's hinted at a lot in Rebels, but never explicitly named. So I think it would make sense for them to name drop Revan. I'm not saying like he's going to play a big part in the story, like anything, but just throw out a name, be like, yeah, the Mandalorian Wars ended when Darth Revan defeated Mandalore the Ultimate, something like that. But that is the extent of that. I don't think he's going to appear. Obviously, he's been dead for thousands of years and all of that, but I think they'll mention him and get fans excited for maybe a future project that involves Revan. Obviously, they've got something in store, I would hope, but you never know. Maybe they don't. But yeah, that's my predictions for Mandalorian Season 2. Very exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. We're going to be having Mandalorian Season 2 coming, Obi-Wan's coming some point soon, Cassian Andor's coming some point soon. So it's exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. I'm anticipating this trailer. I've been waiting for it for days, and it's got to be coming sooner or later. It's got to come before the end of August. It has to. So I can't wait for that, and maybe we'll get a few tidbits in the trailer on what's exactly going on. But as of right now, those are my 10 biggest predictions. And like I said, there's no way that all of them happen. But I'm going to go ahead and say I got at least 4 right. I'm going to say that's my 11th prediction, is that I got 4 predictions right. But yeah, those are my predictions for the Mandalorian Season 2. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think any of these are right? And give me your predictions on what you think will happen in the Mandalorian Season 2. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.